It's certainly a very good thing to know that Euro NCAP have now incorporated in their standard additional protection requirements for children. It's enough from the structural point of view of the vehicle. That is not enough to protect a child or indeed an adult. So everything that happens with a vehicle these days is to ensure that the structure of the car either deforms or absorbs energy in the best possible way. What it doesn't do, though, is it doesn't stop the energy that is focused on a child or an adult when they're involved in some form of impact. And the worst form, of course, is something where you hit a solid object and you're going no further. So at whatever speed you hit that object at, the person in the vehicle will continue traveling at that speed until it hits whatever it's going to hit. Hopefully, in an adult's case, that will be the seat belt. In a child's case, that will either be the back of a child's car seat or the harness within the car seat. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't stop the bits that aren't supported by either the seat belt or the child's car seat. So in the case of children, if you're forward-facing, your body will be restrained by a 5-point harness, but your head will continue to travel. So it's important to understand that if parents, with the best will in the world, put a child into a forward-facing seat and don't tighten the harness firmly enough, or they put heavy clothing on, that means that the child is going to travel until it hits the harness when it hits the wall, and the child's head will continue to travel, but at a faster rate. It accelerates the child's head. And that is extremely dangerous and will often culminate in the child breaking their neck. The law now requires us to transport children up to 50 months in age rearward facing. We usually call those infant carriers. But many parents recognize the benefits of going rearward facing. And so forward facing seats, if they're fitted correctly and the child is fitted inside that seat correctly, are safe. Rearward facing seats, on the other hand, they still need to be fitted correctly, and the child needs to be fitted inside that seat correctly. But what happens if you hit a wall or you brake suddenly is that the whole of the seat collects the child, so it's not reliant on a harness just to holding them in place. So it has much greater support, and there is no pressure on the child's spine or head at any point. Parents have an attitude that their children are really, after they've grown out of their infant carrier, are really little adults. They can see them crawling around, they believe they're strong like they are. But actually, it's so far from the truth, and it's difficult really to explain to a new parent that their child is so different to how they perceive them to be. It's like having a little bag of skin that is filled with cartilage and organs. But the key point is that bag of skin has no structure. It has no capacity to protect those organs. It has no sternum. The organs are also in a different place to an adult, so they are susceptible to pressures being applied by harnesses or seat belts. Because of that, they have no capacity to support themselves. And we've experienced in the in-car safety centre, I think, some lovely stories where we've heard of people who have been involved in very dramatic accidents, forward-facing and rearward-facing, where cars have rolled over. And I have yet to hear of anybody that we have supplied a seat to who has ever been seriously injured or killed in an accident.